It all began with a perfect family as Stevie's dad. Michael was teaching her how to prepare the perfect French toast. But it was all ruined as her baby brother began crying and her parents' attention shifted from her to him as they struggled to find the baby's pacifier. Well, it was just Stevie dreaming as a lot of pacifiers began falling from the sky. Stevie's dreams quickly turned into a nightmare as she saw her family shattered right before her eyes. Stevie woke up and on getting out, overhead her parents arguing. It turns out Michael's music career wasn't really going great as Stevie's mom, Jen, wanted things to change. Stevie wasn't really happy as her one big family was crumbling and she wanted to fix it. She began preparing French toast in the morning for the family, but her little brother was being a nuisance to her until she found a way to keep him distracted. After preparing the meal, she went to see her dad and informed him that Mom made breakfast. She did the same for her mom as they all gathered at the dining table to eat. There, Jen broke the news to them that she will be heading out tomorrow as the University of Duluth is looking for an associate professor and she will be attending the interview. Everyone seemed okay with her going except Stevie, who tried convincing her mom to stay, but Jen stated that she shouldn't worry too much about it, and besides it was just an interview. Stevie was riding to school thinking about everything when Elliot, her brother, joined her and stated that she should help him select a book in the library for his book report. She didn't want him to get a C, so she decided to help. At the library, they were selecting books when suddenly Elliot spewed some flyers and spotted a part of the library for employees only, but he decided to sneak in. There, Elliot was attracted by a shiny box as he opened it and picked up the book titled The Legend of the Sandman. His sister caught up to him as he showed her the book, and while deliberating on it, an employee caught up to them as they ran out. At home, Stevie was showing him books for his report when he brought out The Legend of the Sandman book as Stevie was shocked on realizing that he stole it. But in his defense, it was priceless as there was no tag, and it has the ability to make one's dreams come true. They read the book together as it stated that the Sandman can make all dreams come true, but Stevie didn't believe it as it was unconvincing. At night, they were all asleep when Stevie heard a sound as she woke up and spotted Elliot's bed moving. Elliot woke up at that moment as their house broke apart, and the bed headed out with Elliot in it. Stevie held on to the edge of the bedsheet as the bed flew off with her holding on. She was in shock as she didn't understand what was happening, but Elliot was enjoying it as he realized he could control the bed's movement. Stevie couldn't hold on any longer and let go and was about to fall, but her brother came to her rescue. The bed flew into the sky as they spotted their home, but Stevie figured it wasn't their home because it has a pool and they weren't rich enough to afford it. They spotted shining lights in the sky, and as Stevie touched one of them, the light fused together as they spotted a man-like figure who introduced himself as the Sandman and stated he could make their dreams come true. At that moment, the bed suddenly stopped moving, and they were back asleep. Stevie woke only to realize it was just a dream. Elliot also woke up and began narrating his dream to her as she was shocked because they had the same exact dream, but she figured it might just be because they read the Sandman book together. She looks through the window to find her mom leaving. Her dad tried convincing Jen to stay, but she stated she wanted a change and a better life for her children. Stevie got sad and accidentally broke the family picture, and while picking it up, one of the pieces fell on the Sandman book. She spotted the book and began reading it again. She figured if she recited the Sandman chant, her dreams will come true. Elliot was fast asleep at the time as she began chanting, and just at that moment, she was in her dream. She woke up and found herself in Breakfast Town and was delighted. She started moving to find the Sandman when she bumps into her brother, but wasn't so delighted to find him in her dream. She continues her search for the Sandman, but couldn't find him when she suddenly heard a voice saying he knew where the Sandman was. They followed the voice as it was a stuffed toy trapped underneath a fridge. Stevie freed it only to find out it was Baloney Tony, Elliot's stuffed toy which he lost, but Tony revealed it was actually Stevie who hid him underneath the fridge. Tony didn't want to take them to the Sandman, but Stevie threatened to hide him again, so he had no choice and led the way. On the way, everywhere became dark as Tony revealed that to meet the Sandman, they have to pass through Night Mara, the giver of nightmares. Just then, the cereals in Breakfast Town transformed into monsters and attacked, but they woke up immediately. On waking up, Elliot quickly rushed to the fridge and was able to find Tony there. Getting back to the room, Stevie stated they were psychologically linked, so he needs to sleep so they can go back to meet the Sandman, but Elliot didn't want to go back to the nightmare. Stevie brought his turtle lullaby toy that when turned on would definitely put him to sleep as Elliot quickly rushed and dragged it with her. Stevie was able to get him to sleep, but their dad came in at that moment as the noise woke Elliot as he ran off. During the day, Stevie was having pizza with her dad in the restaurant while Elliot was playing with other kids. There, Stevie asks her dad about her mom's job in Duluth and whether they will have to move if mom gets the job, but her dad doesn't give her any concrete answer. Her dad left to bring Elliot when Stevie spotted her mom's text in her dad's phone telling him that she got the job. At night, Elliot got into the bedroom and saw Stevie feeling sad. Stevie told him how mom got the job, and as dad didn't want to move, it means that their parents might split, which would make their life more complicated, and in the worst-case scenario, they might even be separated from each other. Stevie told him they can do something about it if they get to the Sandman, so Elliot decided to face his fears as they both slept off and began dreaming. They were in Pizza World. There, Tony informed them that if they concentrated hard enough, they can start lucid dreaming and take control of what happens in their dreams. Stevie calls for Nightmara as the Pizza World turns dark, scaring Elliot as he wakes up, and they both wake up. They decided to try again, but every time they tried, they experienced more terrible nightmares as one of them always gets scared, forcing them to wake up. In one of the nightmares, they were about to be crushed by a giant bunny. They didn't want to wake up, so they held hands as Elliot stated he was strong. Just then, he developed superpowers and freed them from the bunny's grip and returned back to normal. They figured that they could lucid dream if they held hands, and with that knowledge, they were able to defeat the giant bunny by using their dynamite fist to explode it. They celebrated, but their celebration was cut short by a strong wind. It was Nightmara as she kept whispering to them to wake up. Stevie held Elliot as the whispers became louder, and after a short while, it stopped. Stevie and Elliot woke up on a magical sand as Stevie was delighted because they have actually made it. They both held hands, ascended, and got inside the Sandman castle. They spotted so many saddlings working, and after a short while, the Sandman approached them. He was delighted because it's been a while since anyone made it past Nightmara. He stated that they were a good team and asked them what their dream was. That's when Stevie talked about their parents as he asked them to follow him. The Sandman showed them how dreams are made and also stated he had a way to make their dreams come true. Stevie and Elliot were having fun when the Sandman called for them and showed them an hourglass. He stated that all they had to do was to flip the glass, and once the last grain fell, their dreams would be sealed into the fabric of reality. They flipped the hourglass as the Sandman sprinkled some dust on them, and they woke up. On waking up, they rushed to see if their dream actually came true. It did, as their mom returned back home and decided not to take the job anymore. Their family were back together again, just as Stevie has always wanted, and also embarked on fun adventures like they used to. At night, their parents were in the bedroom to wish them good night as Stevie hugged them. They were about leaving when Stevie noticed something strange. Their broken picture was back to normal. She called for Elliot, who also realized his room was unusually clean. He figured this might not be real as he threw the picture on the wall, and the house broke apart, revealing they were still in the Sandman's castle. The Sandman approached them to find out what went wrong as he revealed that they had to stay till the last grain fall. Then they wouldn't be able to remember it wasn't real. It would become their reality. Elliot dragged Stevie away, but the Sandman revealed to her that he had looked in her parents' memories, and they were never getting back together. This made Stevie change her mind, and she decided to stay back, but Elliot refused to let her go back. Stevie, determined to return to her perfect dream, used her lucid dream to send Elliot flying, waking him up in the process. Elliot, on waking up, figured he couldn't wake her, so he called his dad, who rushed her to the emergency center. Her mom also was there as Elliot decided to reveal the truth to them. Meanwhile, Stevie was having the fun of her life with her dream parents. She got to her room and spotted just her bed. It was her own room now, and it was like her brother never existed. At that moment, she had a memory of her and Elliot having fun at the park. Stevie couldn't win a stuffed toy as she cried, but Elliot comforted her and decided to share his with her. They both named him Baloney Tony. The thought was over as Stevie figured she couldn't possibly live without her brother, so she called for him and threw some stuff at the wall trying to get back to him, but it didn't work. The fabric was almost sealed. At the emergency center, Elliot heard Stevie called for her, so he quickly decided to get back as he brought the Sandman book and was able to put himself to sleep, leaving his parents confused. In the nightmare, Elliot tried his best to get past Nightmara to reach his sis, but her call for him to wake up was just too strong. Stevie sobbed as she was about to lose her brother, but just at that moment, Elliot walked into the room. Stevie rushed to embrace him as she apologized and asked him how he was able to get past Nightmara. It turns out that as Nightmara was trying to get him to wake up, he refused as he was determined to rescue his sis, so she stopped the nightmares and came to him in person. She explained that she was just protecting him from the Sandman, as she stated how she and the Sandman used to get along, and also explained to him how nightmares are also as important as dreams, as she stated it makes one hold what they love dearly. Stevie and Elliot held each other, and they were out of the dream as the Sandman visited them to convince them to return, but they refused, so he sent them falling, but Baloney Tony came to rescue them, with Elliot flying bed. The Sandman then ordered his saddlings to stop them, so they began piling up, weighing the bed down and making sure it couldn't descend further. The Sandman noticed the grain had almost fallen off, so he sealed the place, but to his greatest shock, Charlie arrived and prevented the place from sealing off, as Jen also came and punched the Sandman. Stevie was delighted to see her parents as she pressed the rocket button, given the bed and energy boost, as they were all transported to where the hourglass is. Just as the last grain of sand was about to fall, Stevie and Elliot quickly held hands, and this stopped the last grain of sand from falling. They have defeated the Sandman as they embraced their parents. It was now time to return to the real world, so they turned their fist again into dynamite and used it to smash the hourglass, sending them all back. A few days later, they were all moving to Duluth as they packed their things. It turns out this time, Their dad decided to move with them and start a band there, so they won't be separated. This was a dream come true for Stevie as they remain as one big happy family. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you love animations and movies, please subscribe to It's Mythical for more mind-blowing recaps like this. Goodbye.